Hi friends, and welcome back to Lemon Tree Corner. This week in the studio we are kind of doing some odds and ends and prep work for going into the Christmas bag making season. So very excited to do that. We've got my Christmas bag that I made last week. So we're gonna pick out some yarn to go in there and make some Christmas scarves as presents for this year. I don't know if I'm going to get them all done in time, but we will start with one and see how far we get. We've also got some other odds and ends and then a side quest. So let me tell you about those. I have my sweater project in this cute bag that I made last year, but these are way too long. Look how long those are. So I need to cut these and re-sew them and re-string them through here. We've got our sweater that we're working on. I haven't gotten very far on this because I'm trying to finish off the autumn bag so I can start I'm trying to finish off the autumn blanket so I can start the new autumn blanket. So I'm kind of furiously doing that every night instead of working on the sweater. And I've been trying to get my Instagram shop up and running, but having some very frustrating issues with that. So I don't know that I'll be able to have the Instagram shop. We'll have to figure that out, maybe actually make a phone call to the help support or something to figure it out. I've got my Agatha's reading shawl that we need to try and do something with. Oh, I already put a button on there. Well, maybe we already fixed it and I totally forgot. So it's very cute, but it doesn't like have a clasp or anything. But I guess I added a button on here without realizing it before. It doesn't really stay on though. So I bought these frog closures when we were at the fabric store. I don't know if I can hold those up for you to see. So they're white, and I was kind of thinking if I sew them on like that, then I will have a frog closure, which I think is better than this button, because as cute as this button is, it's not really staying on. So once I do that, I will be able to wear it on the couch and make it a real reading shawl, or wear it to work. It is very cold in my office still. I don't know how hard it is to get the temperature correct in my office, but it is pretty chilly, so I'm trying to rotate my projects in with me every day, like bring a different scarf with me every day, just so that I'm actually using these things that I make and they're not just sitting in a closet. Speaking of which, I have to find room for the sweaters we blocked. I don't want to hang those in my closet, so I have a drawer of sweaters and I'm going to go through those and see if I can donate a couple. The other ones are all like acrylic sweaters that I bought, and kind of want to replace those with the ones I'm making. So go through there and make sure my new sweaters fit in a drawer so they're not getting all stretched out in the shoulders, which means we got one more sweater to block. So we're on track to get everything blocked and get the desk moved in there before Thanksgiving. So we'll be working on that. And we have a side quest to do. So it is my stepfather's birthday coming up. We're having a big celebration. And I was trying to think of something that I could make for him. I'm not really going to be able to make a scarf in that amount of time, but we can make a bag. So I have this flannel that I bought at Joann's. I haven't really worked with flannel. I'm guessing I'm just going to pre-shrink it like normal and then cut it, but I was thinking of doing one of those market totes that we've done in the past. I don't know that we did it on this channel, so I will share that with you this week when we make that. And I'm going to pair it with this kind of duck cotton canvasy fabric. And it's a reversible bag. We use French seams to do that, so that's kind of fun. New technique if you haven't done French seams, so it's technically a reversible bag. Let me see if I can find mine. So this is the bag I'm talking about. I'll get the pattern out and share it with you. We've got cotton webbing handles. I'll have to make sure I have a webbing that matches. And then we just sew those in. This fabric is on the outside and the whole inside. So the canvas is on the outside. You can use this as a shopping bag. You can use it as a tote bag, a book bag, choir book bag, which is what I'm assuming he would be using it for. And then basically we have a French seam. So if you wanted to, you could have the bag this direction with the canvas in the middle, especially if you're carrying something dirty on the inside. That might be nice, but then the outside might get dirty. So I like having the cotton on the inside, but it is technically reversible, which is a nice feature. I just think these make great choir bags, book bags for going to the library. You could put a laptop in here, but you would definitely want to have it in its own laptop sleeve to be protected, because we're not using any interfacing or anything in here. I think I interfaced the cotton, but we're not using fusible fleece or foam or anything, so it's not going to have the padding you would need for a laptop. But if you had another laptop sleeve, you could put that in here as well. So lots of fun stuff going on this week, a little bit of everything. I'm trying to do the new filming style. So far the editing process has been relatively easy, so that's good. Hope you're enjoying the new format. Comment down below if there is something particular you would like to see, or if you're missing something, or give me some feedback on the new format and if you like it or not. So I'll also be doing a fabric haul with you of all the fabric we bought last week when we were looking for one thing, but of course I bought tons more fabric, and then we had to take photos of all of those and make project sheets and organize all of the Christmas fabric. So we have 2 big boxes like this of Christmas fabric that we need to organize. I found some last week that I forgot I had and I didn't have project sheets for. So we have to go through all the fabric and make sure I have everything. We also have some leftover fabrics from previous bags that I've made, and then I found a fat quarter bundle as well. And I found a charm pack. So there's a couple of these that we need lining fabrics for. So I'll have to go back to the fabric store and see if we can find some lining fabrics. It looks like I have a lot of stripies and a lot of reds, but I don't have a lot of greens, like forest greens. That's the problem I ran into with my bag, is this is like the only dark green that I had fabric for, and I didn't really want to go back to the store right away and get that. Since we just did a lot of damage last week, I didn't want to have to go back to the fabric store. But what I should do is take like a little swatch of each of those that I need linings for and go back to M&L Fabrics and find some linings. But that will be for a future project, not this week. We've already got tons of stuff to do this week. So if organizing, seeing a fabric haul, and making a side quest birthday bag sounds fun to you, go ahead and grab yourselves a cozy beverage or a water, get comfortable, and let's start organizing. Okay, I just came back from the yarn store and we've made some decisions, my sister and I. So for the granny top, we were originally thinking of these two together. My sister pointed out that this is a little bit thinner of a weight, even though they're both fingering. This is a little thicker. So she doesn't think these two are going to work together. So we were looking through the store and they had this beautiful charcoal gray, but they only had 3 skeins and I need 4. So we landed on this. This is Lucky Feet by Circulo. It's a superwash merino. It's the same weight as this one and it matches the speckles. So we have that kind of olive in the speckles, but this is another green. So apparently I gravitate towards green yarn. I did not know that before I got back into crocheting. But a lot of my wearables are green. They're all different colors of green, but they're green. So this will be interesting. I was thinking this is kind of a dark color to have for a top, but it being Southern California and all, I'm probably wearing this top to work. I'm not like wearing this top during the day, you know, at a beach or something. So I think I'll be okay. And then after some back and forth with my sweater, I took the whole thing apart because in the pattern she wants me to use a smaller hook size for the ribbing. But when I do that, the ribbing is like stretched because she wants me to measure it stretched. So I was just very confused by that. This looks like I'm off now on my ribbing. I feel like I skipped a stitch. So we're starting all over again, and I'm just gonna make the ribbing the correct size to go around my belly, so that the sweater is the correct size, because you know, with a cardigan you can fudge things, but when it's a pullover it has to fit correctly. So we're just gonna go rogue. We're gonna trust our gut, haha, no pun intended, and we're gonna make it to fit me correctly. So I hate ribbing and I hate doing ribbing over again, but it was the right decision because I didn't want to get much farther and have to tear it all apart again. So we've torn it apart twice, but that was only after like 4 or 5 rows. So I feel better knowing that we'll be doing it correctly this time and I won't have to worry about it not fitting in the end. Last sweater. Okay, one more back-breaking session and then we can put all of this away. This one's gonna be harder to lay out. It's definitely stretched. It's gonna be very loose, I think. I'm gonna try and line up the bottom and then hopefully have room for the sleeves. It's really a challenge. These are all the same fiber content, but I have a feeling they're just not gonna line up great.
Nobody sees me like you do. You just make me smile.
I think we are all dry. The only problem I had is I couldn't really fit this sleeve in, so unfortunately that sleeve didn't get as flat as this sleeve, but I ran out of room. So I think we are done with this and time to take it down, and then this is where my office desk is going to go back for the next couple of months.
I see you. I see you. I see you.
So then I found Anne of Green Gables fabric. I didn't know such a thing existed. Beautiful Anne of Green Gables fabric, if I can get it the right way around. So this is Riley Blake, very cute, and I found this green to go with it. Pair those together, and then I was looking for a few more things that are kind of I actually found a lot of coffee. I have a lot of coffee and tea fabrics. But this one I thought looked a little bit more, what am I thinking of? Valentine's-y. It looked a little more Valentine's-y, so I got that one with this red. I also have this color. I couldn't decide. They're both good blenders anyway, so I might do this for the interior. I kind of liked the red for the exterior, but I couldn't really find a red that I liked. So maybe we will pair those two together. And then I found ice cream cones, ice cream sundaes for summer with this beautiful fabric. So those two are going together. And then, you know, Christmas gets me every time. So I found this beautiful like partridge in a pear tree fabric paired with this beautiful plaid that also has like a gold stripe running through it. I went back to see if I could find a video, and this was not one of the videos I did in the Year of Bags, and I'm not even seeing a playlist for the Year of Bags, so I will get on that. Reading over my notes here, what happened was I did a top accent out of the lining fabric, so this looks short. The navy looks short because I'm going to be adding a top accent to the outside, and then we're also going to have the piece for the inside. So I just tried spray starching this, and it does not really want to cooperate. It's not really going to shrink. It's just that it's not well ironed at this point. But I think we can proceed with the cutting because, you know, it's plaid and I don't want to mess up the pleats here. Although, I don't know. I should probably just steam iron it to get that flat. It's kind of a toss-up at this point whether that's really going to help me out or not. Iron it flat, and it doesn't really like my iron. So I don't know that plaid is going to be the way to go. Also, while I was looking through my videos, I found a video where I had more Christmas fabric. I really don't know where I put that. So I'm going to have to look through all of my fabric stashes to make sure there isn't any hidden Christmas anywhere. Not fun. I didn't realize that the iron was like melting the flannel. So I just had to clean off the iron, try and get that somewhat cleaned off with a rag. And now, of course, I was on the cotton setting because I'm used to doing the cotton setting. So we should not be on the cotton setting. I don't have a flannel setting, but I do have like a synthetic is the lowest. So I think we should start with the lowest. And then I want to steam it, but like I have a pressing cloth that I could put over this, but I don't know if the steam is going to get through if I use the pressing cloth. Alrighty, well, it seemed like that worked, although it doesn't seem like it wants to stay attached. Now that I look at it, it's coming right off. It looked like it was working. I ironed it from the back. But I did do it on a cooler setting, so maybe I'll try ironing it from the back with the cotton setting. I tried it with the pressing cloth and it didn't really work that well, but it doesn't look like it wants to adhere. I'll try it on the cotton setting and see if that wants to work. It looked like it worked on the big piece, so it has stayed on very well. So I think that's the way to do it. So we're gonna stitch this together, and then I guess I'm just gonna have to press it the way I would press glitter vinyl or cork, meaning I can't really touch the iron to it, but I can press it from the other side where the canvas is. So we'll do it that way. I should have checked on my cotton webbing earlier than this. We do not have a color that goes with this. Good news is I ordered it on Amazon. Bad news is the ones I originally ordered aren't going to come in until after this present needs to be delivered. So I did find another one, another seller that's selling 10 yards instead of, I usually get 5 yards, but they're selling 10 yards of a navy. I hope it's going to go with this. The other one had an olive green that I thought would work, but it's not going to show up in time. So we can't really get much further other than we're going to press that under so that it's a clean edge, and then we are going to line our lining up under that. So it's gonna look, you can't see what I'm talking about. So we're gonna fold this edge under, and then we're gonna tuck our lining up under that, so that that'll be like that. But we can't really sew the whole thing together until we get the webbing, because the webbing is gonna go get sewn in here. So not much we can do with that. So I will go back and iron all of this. We will press this under, although I guess I'll do it with a pressing cloth. Yeah, I was not thinking not thinking clearly. I just liked the flannel, but flannel was probably not a great choice for this. Okay, I re-ironed everything so it's nice and secure now. And then we're just gonna, you can't see, we're just gonna tuck this in here, and then I'm just gonna leave some clips in there, and we'll have to come back to this after we get our webbing. So I just want to kind of lift up that part, line this up here, and make sure my edges are lined up. I think the lining's a little bit bigger than it needs to be. So just want to make sure that that lining lines up on both sides. And then all of that's going to get incorporated into our French seam on the side. So it's not the end of the world if it's kind of raggedy there. And then we are going to come over to the other side. And tuck it in on this side. And for some reason this is way longer than it needs to be. We got our webbing, yay! So this looks like a very good match to our bag. That'll be nice. So we are going to go back to the beginning. So since that's more than my cutting table, what I am going to do is I'm going to fold it over. So we do half a yard, which should be 18 if I remember correctly. Going to tuck it in here, sew it in, and then we're going to fold it this way and sew it in. So that's how you hide that, and you want to make sure we're not twisted here. Get the correct end in there, and you just want to tuck it all the way up. We're going to be to the outside of that line. Right sides together. We're going to sew it down. We're going to trim it very, very close to the seam, and then sew the other side. So I think I'm going to do this way down. So we're just going to sew it and then trim it so that it's we have as little as possible on the next seam. Alrighty, so I'm just going to cut this like 1/8 of an inch. We're going to go like super close so that when we turn this around, all of these raw edges have to get enclosed in the next seam. And that does not line up perfectly, which is quite annoying. I didn't realize how long it had been since I'd made one of these. Okay, now we are going to flip it. Flip it good. I don't think there's enough bulk in that corner for me to worry about trimming it. We're going to flip it the other way around. We're going to poke out our corners. You could press it at this point. Just want to get that nice pointed corner without poking through. Okay. And then what we are going to do is we're going to get this seam as pushed out as possible. A little bit there. And then we're going to sew this. So we're going to enclose the raw seam, which means we should probably do 3/8 of an inch to be safe. So we're just going to poke that out as much as possible, roll the seam as much as possible. So we've got it nice and flat. And then we'll do a 3/8 and then we're done. This is very, very bulky. So if you're using, I mean, I don't even have the layer of the canvas there. This is all the flannel, but we've double folded it on both sides. So that gets a little thick. So if you don't have a juki, you might want to, I still went super slow on that part. So you'll see once we turn it over, our seams are enclosed. You can also just feel it by like where the bump is in your fabric if you've gotten your seam enclosed, but you want to double check that now to make sure. Poke out our corners, and then we're just going to cut off any loose threads. You can press it at this point also if you want to. Just going to get all of these little bits out because it was sandwiched. I know there's going to be little bits of fuzz that are sticking out of the seam. So I wish this had lined up better and if I had taken a little bit more care, but I really reinforced this top bit because this is going to get the most stress. So we have our bag, they're nice long handles, very manly, and yeah, just ignore what I said here about sewing it down first. You don't need to sew it down first. You're already sewing it in 2 places. It's perfectly reinforced. So I believe this is going to be the front of the bag now. Not sure where to put my label. Might not label it at all since it's a present. It doesn't really need to have the label. Yay! All ready for the birthday party. Very manly. More manly than the normal bags that I make. I would like to incorporate some more masculine fabrics or some more masculine patterns. It's just not really something that I gravitate towards. I gravitate towards the super cute. So, but yeah, I would like, maybe not flannel. We might not be working with flannel again, but I would definitely like to incorporate more manly styles, manly patterns in my fabric, or at least maybe gender neutral more than masculine. Yay, we finished our bag. So we are all ready to go. Only one thing left to do, and that is go on vacation. So next week I will have a vacation vlog for you. We're going to be up in the Angeles Mountains, so think Big Bear Lake, Lake Arrowhead, that kind of area. It's supposed to rain a couple of the days, so we'll see what happens. I've got one stripe, literally one row left to go on my blanket. So yay, I think I will bring the needle and try and weave in some ends while we watch TV because we're going to have like a movie marathon and popcorn and everything because it's going to rain half the time we're up there. I don't think it's going to get cold enough to snow. If it does, it's going to be in the middle of the night and I'll probably miss it. But yeah, there's a fireplace and a little covered patio on the outside so we could sit there and watch the rain. So looking forward to that. I'm going to bring the rain jacket, the rain boots, the umbrellas. So if we want to have a little stroll, if it's just like a light misty rain, we'll probably have a little stroll through the forest. And I will take you along on that as well. So very happy to have this done. in time for the birthday party so I can give this to my stepdad. It's going to be a big birthday slash family reunion, so that'll be fun. And yeah, just get to hang out with everybody. Other than that, looking forward to working on my sweater on this vacation as well. And then we've already started cutting out the kitty cats, the kitty pouches for the next thing, but I probably won't have that ready for you until the week after. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you back here next week. Sending you lots of love and peace for the week ahead. Love you, friends. Bye. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.